Hi everybody, my name is Nikki and welcome to my course. This series we're going to be talking about cancer. Although this is not my most favorite subject, it does hit home, and I'm sure it does hit home for all of you watching as well. And so what we're going to talk about in 3 sections are ways we can be mindful and conscious about pet parenting during cancer. So there are ways you can prevent cancer, which we can talk about at another time. Right now, we need to focus on getting your dog better. But for this series, we're going to be talking about what we do once we find out our dogs have cancer. Because there are a lot of things out there that we all don't know and that I wish I knew when my dog had cancer. And so to give you a little backstory, in 2015, in 2015, my dog had cancer. And it felt like I did it to him. And I also feel like I didn't have a lot of options. Lucky for us, it was a cancer we could take care of. But I also regret a ton of things that I did and chose during his care. So what happened to us was he started having a growth over his left eye, really close to his eye. So I thought it was a pimple or some sort of clogged pore, I don't know. And it stayed about the same for a few months. So I said, after Christmas, we'll get it checked out. It's busy and it doesn't look like it's bothering him, which was my first mistake, unfortunately. This time I wish I took him sooner. I wish I listened to the fear that was saying that it was cancer, but I was so scared to know it was cancer that I didn't bring him. I brought him to the vet because one morning I woke up and it was the size of a grape, and I knew. This sucks. I knew the whole time. But I just let it go. Anyway, I brought him to the vet. They did an aspiration, which is when a tiny needle goes in. I'm sure you have all experienced that. It's usually the first thing you do. It came back as cancer, of course, but it was a fine line of, we're not quite sure, but we're just going to take it off. And that was my second mistake. I shouldn't have just listened. So they did the surgery and it came out fine, and he's cancer-free, and I worry. So I wanted to share what I know, what I've learned from a lot of my friends that are in the pet cancer world, and I want to tell them to you. But he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. He's rolling around on the couch showing me his belly. I want to give them to you so that you have tools and the confidence so you don't end up like this, wondering if there was more you could have done. Regardless of the outcome, I want you to be empowered and feel solid in the choices that you're making, so when it's all said and done, you know you did everything. And I'm going to tell you everything so that you're not like me and just lop off half of your dog's face not knowing what the choices are. That you have all the options out there on how to do this. So, we're going to get this over with. Ugly cry's gone. We're going to move on into the 3-part sections of how you deal with your dog when he has cancer. The 3 sections are going to be focused on your relationship with your vet, which is some of the most important pieces. Your vet is not the enemy here. Even though I know you want to blame somebody, I blamed everybody, and mostly I still blame myself, but we're getting over that. Dr. Karen Becker likes to use the term blessedly clueless, which I think it's an amazing term. People are good people. Your vet is good people. They just don't know. So you have to walk them through it. So once you know something, impart it on to others and bring them in on the journey. So that is where you're going to learn how to have confrontational conversations even, or how to work with your vet when you don't see eye to eye. Because at the end of the day, this is your animal, this is your dog, this is your best friend. And you need to be their advocate. You are their advocate. You're all that they have. With that, you need to guide your vet through some of these processes yourself. There is going to be nobody there for you to tell you what the right thing to do is or what the next thing to do is. You're going to have to empower yourself to make those choices and to bring them up with your doctors. And so I want you to take those choices and options you learn in section 1 and learn how to implement them in section 2. We're going to talk about all of the key elements that you need to know about before you make a drastic decision, like lopping your dog's face off like I did, or removing a limb, or even just having a skin growth removed. Those are going to make you empowered. Those are going to give you the options and the choices and the knowledge to be comfortable in whatever you choose. No matter what you choose, there is no judgment and there's no right or wrong, really. But I want you to be fully prepared and at the end of the day, say, yes, I did the best I could. And that way you don't cry every time you talk to somebody about what you did wrong when your dog was sick. In the third section, which will be my most favorite section because I love food, is the nutrition section. And in that section, we're going to discuss the raw diet and how that is beneficial for your dog. And we'll give you recipes and instructions, and you won't feel like this is overwhelming. Will continue to give you more options to make you feel like you have control over cancer. Because in reality, cancer is your immune system's malfunction for killing off cells that are abnormal. And so what we need to do is swing the body back into balance with nutrition and nutritional supplements, exercise, and Western medicine. It's all important, people. Bring it all together and do the best that you can for your dog. So, are you ready to get started?